Hey, what's up, everybody? Thursday today. Hopefully, everybody's doing good. Yesterday was April Fool's Day. This happened late yesterday, and unfortunately, this wasn't an April Fool's joke. You'd think it was, perhaps. This is an NBC News article, picked it up on AOL. It's archived in the description like my articles always are. I actually heard this on the news, and then I went and researched it and tried to find out more about what was going on. But let's take a read real quick. Los Angeles. Prosecutors charged a locomotive engineer who worked at the Port of Los Angeles with intentionally derailing a train at full speed near the U.S. Navy hospital ship Mercy because of suspicions over its activities surrounding COVID-19, according to a federal criminal complaint. Eduardo Moreno of San Pedro, California, was charged with one count under a little-known train wrecking statute that carries a maximum sentence of up to 20 years in the Tuesday incident. Okay, so this happened on Tuesday. Story came out on Wednesday, so they wasted no time getting in that earth and charging him. 20 years. And that's according to the 10-page criminal complaint filed in U.S. District Court in Los Angeles. After his arrest, Moreno was held overnight and subsequently turned over to FBI agents Wednesday morning. Moreno was expected to make an initial appearance in federal court Wednesday afternoon. Prosecutors claim Moreno ran the train off the tracks and it crashed through a series of barriers before coming to rest more than 250 yards from the Mercy in an incident that was captured on video. Although the train leaked fuel, which required cleanup by firefighters and other hazardous materials personnel, no one was hurt. A California Highway Patrol officer who witnessed the crash and took Moreno into custody told authorities he saw the train used to haul shipping cargo smashed through a barrier at the end of the tracks before driving through several obstacles, including a steel barrier, a chain link fence, sliding through one parking lot, and another filled with gravel, and smash into a second chain link fence, according to the affidavit. When the officer approached him, Moreno said, "You only get this chance once. The whole world is watching. I had to. People don't know what's going on here. Now they will," the complaint alleges. Moreno, who waived his right to speak to an attorney before being interviewed by investigators, admitted in two post-arrest interviews that he intentionally ran the train off the track because he wanted to bring attention to the government's activities regarding COVID-19 and was suspicious of the USNS Mercy. In his first interview with the Los Angeles Port Police, Moreno acknowledged he did it, saying he was suspicious of the Mercy and believed it had an alternate purpose related to COVID-19 or a government takeover, the affidavit states. Moreno also told investigators he acted alone and had not pre-planned the attempted attack. While admitting to intentionally derailing and crashing the train, he said he knew it would bring media attention and people could see for themselves, referring to the Mercy, according to the affidavit. In a second interview with FBI agents, Moreno stated that he did it out of the desire to wake people up, according to the affidavit. Moreno stated that he thought the USNS Mercy was suspicious and did not believe the ship is what they say it's for. All right, so that's that story, pretty brief. Let's take a look at the comments real quick, and then I'll kind of give my thoughts about it. All right, now keep in mind this is an AOL comments section, so probably going to be pretty low end in terms of comments and everything. Probably going to be a lot of humor and politics here. So first one says he had a locomotive. Nice. Next one here says, "All together now, class? Where do we think Mr. Moreno has been getting his news and conspiracy opinions?" Somebody says definitely Roswell Rachel. I assume they mean Maddow. Somebody here says Sean Hannity. Alex Jones gets a shout out. Someone else says here, "Hey, as loony as Alex Jones may be, he's still more right than Rachel Maddow. You see here, it didn't take long to devolve into politics and taking sides. So I told you." Someone else here says MSNBC. Another one says, "Considering old Eddie thought the USNS Mercy was part of the deep state, he was probably getting his information from talk radio and Fox News." Somebody says AOL, CNN, Breitbart. David here says he forgot to mention that he knows this is just a small scout ship and the mothership of all ships is still under the Arctic ice. Somebody says Rod Sterling. Good show. Check it out. I can't remember if it was on Netflix where I caught them all, but I watched all the episodes they had. Someone says, "Here, give that illegal derailed nut a corona." Someone else further says, "Is that where the mothership is hiding?" Man, I've been looking for it for ages. All right, so you get it. Those were the comments, pretty much what I predicted, AOL, right? Obviously, I've seen these comments. I've seen comments on other boards. They generally devolve pretty quickly and are pretty partisan. But I always look for the humor in whatever comment board I'm looking at. So with this guy, obviously, he didn't come close to it, but he's right. It did garner some attention. My guess is this story fades out quickly. A couple days go by. You guys, even watching this video, will have totally forgotten about this guy because there's so many other things that are going on out there with this, so many other kind of theories, stuff that people are going through, suffering, deaths, illnesses, shortages. There's press briefings daily from your governor, every governor, mayors, president. So there's way too many things going on for people to even remember who this guy is 2 days from now. That being said, we'll obviously have to try to follow up on this one a little bit and see what happens with the whole psych eval. A lot of people are out there trying to assume what his politics were. It would be interesting. I guess that will be something that perhaps would come out. My guess would actually be that he's probably neither a Democrat or a Republican in the traditional sense. He's probably going to be somebody that's way off the scale on the far left or the far right. He may vote a certain way. He's not going to be the typical type person that you perhaps would put into the box like your neighbor, the Republican or the Democrat, the kind of normalish type of person that just happens to have a different political ideology than you do. Somebody that's out there saying these certain kinds of things, you would expect them to be way off, like I said, way off to the far left or way off to the far right. This story really didn't seem to get a lot of buzz in the news. We obviously know why that is. He doesn't check off enough boxes, first of all. But second of all, and mainly what I think is damage, there was really no damage done. He ran a train off the tracks. That's obviously monetary damages, but no loss of life, no injuries, nothing like that. So that'd be my feeling why the news probably wasn't too interested in this story at this point. We'll see what happens if we get some more facts, but again, I said it a couple times already. I have a feeling that this story is going to be one that we forget about, and we catch an update a year from now or 6 months from now, and we hear that he took a 10-year plea deal or something like that. So that's basically it for the video. Pretty short, right? But I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention in case you hadn't seen that. And what I wanted to say was, my feeling is when you have an individual who gets like this, that gets that desensitized by the media, whatever he's listening to, I think it comes from just taking in one source of information or kind of one side of the argument. So the only thing I would say to you if you're watching this video is just during this time, if you're at home right now and you've got a lot more free time and you're used to taking in the sources that you take in every day, boom, you click to Fox, you go to CNN every day, you go to the New York Times, you go to the Post, you go to the LA Times, whatever it may be. If you're used to taking in only one source of information every day, and that's your go-to every day, I just don't want to see it end up in a situation where you end up like this guy. Now, I know this guy's really irrational, and most of us aren't going to go there. We're not going to get twisted up and warped like this guy. But what I would say is take a look at alternate sources. Take a look at other sites, other pieces of information that may be contrary to what you believe. Nobody says you have to believe them in the end, of course, but take a look and see what the other side is saying, because that can teach you a lot as well. It can help you open up a little bit and start to question some things, and maybe some of your stances start to change and you soften a little bit on some things. Then again, maybe it helps kind of reinforce, and you say, hey, this is obvious bullshit, and you get to a point where hey, this side over here is obvious BS. I'm not even going to deal with them. But again, just kind of be open to it. Don't just go to that one source that you always use or that one television station that you always go to. Just be open to multiple things. Ultimately, what I'm getting at is just gather information. Just take it in. There's no harm in taking in information. Evaluate it. Just consider it. And you never know. You never know what you may find out. You may find some things you agree with on the other side, to your shock, right? You go, oh my God, I can't believe it. But then again, it may help reinforce how you feel. I really feel strongly that if you take in only one side of the argument every time, that you'd be far more likely to go down this route like this guy did. So take in all the information you can and evaluate. I think seeing the other side will really help. Being somebody who can take in the other side of the argument and accept criticism or see things from another person's perspective will really help you kind of in the long run. Just be a more rational individual. Don't be like this guy. Don't go run a train off the tracks, please. All right, everybody. So that's what I got for the video. Let me know what you guys think. And again, everybody, like I always say, hopefully all of you are out there staying sane, staying in shape physically, and wanted to wish everybody and their loved ones all the best. Thank you for watching the video as always, everybody. Take care.